Okay, let's dive right into a situation in the NFL that's really capturing attention. We're talking about a competition so intense, it's actually being called one of the five most intriguing position battles across the whole league. This isn't just, a standard training camp drill. It feels like a full-blown showdown with some major implications.
Yeah, exactly. And our deep dive today is focused squarely on this, the very crowded running back position battle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're basing our discussion today on insights from one specific source, an article titled Four Questions Regarding Jaguars' Crowded RB Position Battle. It was originally up on the Jacksonville Jaguars SI site, then Yardbarker picked it up.
Right. So our mission here is basically to cut through all the noise, look hard at the key questions this article raises, and really get you, the listener, well informed on what's truly at stake here. For the players and for the team itself. When you first look at the Jags backfield, it's a fascinating trio, isn't it?
It really is. You've got Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, and the rookie, Bayshol Tootin. And something the article points out, which is kind of surprising, they're remarkably similar physically. Height, weight, very close.
And age-wise too, right?
Hmm.
Not much difference there.
Barely any. Tootin's 23, Bigsby's also 23, just about 6 months older, and Etienne, the veteran of the group, is only 26.
Okay, so let's get a quick picture of each guy, because their backgrounds are pretty key to understanding this whole dynamic. Travis Etienne first, former first-round pick 2021. He's been the main starter, right? Played a lot of games.
Yeah, a ton. The article notes 46 starts out of a possible 53 games, including the postseason. He's been the guy.
Then you have Tank Bigsby. The Jags took him in the second round in the 2023 draft, and the article says he didn't disappoint last season when he got his shot. He actually led the team in some key stats.
He really did. When Etienne had that shoulder injury, Bigsby stepped in and led in carries, 168 of them. Also rushing yards, 766, and rushing touchdowns. He had 7. So yeah, he definitely made the most of that opportunity.
Okay, and then the third piece is Paschal Tootin, the youngest one.
Right, 23 years old, a 4th-round rookie, pick 104 overall. But the thing that jumps out is speed.
Electrifying speed, is that what they said?
Pretty much. The article mentions he has the most speed in that room, backed up by, that blazing 40 time at the combine.
What was it again?
A 4.32. Seriously fast. One of the fastest for any running back there.
Okay, so that sets the stage. 3 talented backs, similar builds, different paths here. Now, on to that first burning question everyone seems to have as camp gets going. Who gets the first carries? It sounds maybe like a small thing, but it often means quite a bit, doesn't it?
Oh, it absolutely does. Getting that first snap, especially in a tight position battle like this, it's way more than just symbolic. It's seen as a subtle but pretty significant vote of confidence from the coaching staff.
Like an endorsement, almost.
Exactly. Subtle endorsement.
It basically signals who the coaches, right then, view as giving the team the best shot to win if they had to play that day. And beyond that, think about the player. It gives them a real shot of confidence.
Right, gets them going.
Yeah, and maybe most importantly, it's an immediate chance to grab hold of that job and, try to keep it.
So that first snap definitely sets a tone.
Okay.
But let's shift to momentum. Bigsby seemed to build up some serious steam towards the end of 2024. The big question is, will that carry over? Especially when you dig into the numbers.
The numbers. This is where it gets really interesting, and the article leans on some analysis from ESPN's Ben Solak. If you look specifically at weeks 5 through 18 last season, 2024, Bigsby actually clearly outperformed Etienne.
Outperformed him how? Like just carries or?
More than just carries, though he did outrush him 147 to 103 over that stretch. But the advanced stuff tells a story, too. Bigsby had a .01 EPA per rush. Etienne, minus .13. Okay, hold on. EPA per rush, expected points added. Remind us what that really tells us. A positive number versus a negative one seems pretty significant.
It's huge. EPA basically measures how much value, in terms of potential points, a play adds compared to an average play in that situation. So Bigsby's .01, while small, is positive. It means his average rush was adding a tiny bit of expected points. Etienne's minus .13 means his average rush was actually costing the team expected points.
Wow. Okay. What else?
Success rate, too. Bigsby was at 38.8%, meaning his runs were more consistently gaining needed yardage, keeping drives alive. Etienne was lower at 35.9%, and then there was yards after contact per attempt.
The tough yards.
Exactly. How much you gain after getting hit. Bigsby posted 2.33 yards. Etienne was way down at 1.36.
So Bigsby was breaking more tackles, fighting for more yards consistently during that stretch.
Seems like it, yeah. That yards after contact number really highlights that power and balance aspect.
Those numbers are definitely striking. So beyond just, winning the stat comparison, what do these specific advanced metrics like the EPA and the yards after contact suggest about Bigsby's potential growth as a player? Especially next to Etienne, who's been the established guy. It sounds like Bigsby was showing signs of being really efficient and tough.
Absolutely. The higher EPA suggests he wasn't just getting yards. He was making plays that directly helped their chances of scoring, more impactful plays. And the better yards after contact, well, that shows he's breaking tackles, making defenders miss, grinding out extra yardage. That's a critical trait, for a lead back in the NFL today. It suggests he can be really productive, turning okay plays into good ones.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, let's layer in another factor. Jacksonville's got a new offensive staff. Liam Coe is leading the way. This takes us to the third big question from the article. How will Liam Cohen's offense influence this whole competition?
Well, yeah.
A new coach usually means a different approach, right?
Oh, yeah, it's a huge factor. Cohen's philosophy could totally reshape this thing. Consider this. The old Jag staff under Doug Peterson, they averaged about 438 carries per season. But Liam Cohen's offense last year, when he was with Tampa Bay, they had 483 carries.
More carries overall. Does that just mean more opportunities for everyone?
Well, potentially. Part of that Tampa number might be playing with leads more often, which naturally leads to more runs. But Cohen's generally expected to run a more balanced offense anyway. And here's what's really telling. Tampa under Cohen last year was the only NFL team to finish in the top 5 in both rushing yards and passing yards.
Wow. Okay. How did they manage that balance?
They used what the article calls a two-headed backfield really effectively. They had the rookie, Bucky Irving, getting about 43% of the carries, and the veteran, Rachaad White, got 30%. They split the load.
Interesting. So applying that to Jacksonville.
Right. Ben Solak, in the article, literally asks the question. Now, the offensive staff in Jacksonville has been overhauled, and new coach Liam Cohen used a two-headed backfield well. So why not just play Etienne and Bigsby in a committee?
Makes sense. A logical question. But this is where it gets really interesting, isn't it? Because the article gives a pretty clear, maybe surprising answer to Solak's own question, and it's all about Paschal Tootin.
Exactly. Tootin is the wrench in the works, the wild card, whatever you want to call him. He's a new guy for this new staff, remember? And his college tape, he forced .34 missed tackles per attempt last year.
0.34 is that high?
That's incredibly high, one of the best marks in the entire nation. It speaks to his elusiveness. His explosiveness just suggests, as the article puts it, he has the potential to score every time he touches the ball.
Okay, so you can't just ignore that kind of big playability, even from a rookie.
You really can't.
Yeah.
Which leads to Solak's conclusion on the committee idea. He says, basically, I'm fairly certain Tootin will play a solid role, but...
There's the but.
But there aren't enough touches to feed three backs, which means Etienne and Bigsby will contend for the 1A role.
Right. So Tootin carves out a role because of his explosiveness. Cohen might like a committee, but you can't really have a three-headed committee sharing touches effectively, which naturally leads to that critical question. If there aren't enough touches for three, what happens to the odd man out? That takes us to the final and maybe the most high-stakes question here.
Yeah, this is where the tough business side of the NFL really kicks in. Depending on how things shake out in preseason, who performs, who maybe fits better on special teams, all those factors. Jacksonville they could very well look to trade either Etienne or Bigsby.
Trade one of them. Wow.
Yeah.
To a team that needs a running back.
Exactly. And there's always teams looking for running back help. Plus, there's context here for the Jaguars specifically. Remember, they traded their 2026 first-round pick to Cleveland in that Travis Hunter deal.
Right. So getting another draft pick back would be pretty valuable for them.
It certainly wouldn't hurt. And Solak offers a pretty bold prediction on this front. He says, given what we saw last season, I think Bigsby will win that battle in a fair fight. Okay, so he thinks Bigsby wins the starting job. The decision might come down to which back returns more capital in a trade.
Okay, untack that. If Bigsby wins the job, but the decision comes down to trade value, who likely has more trade value? The former first-rounder or the recent second-rounder who outperformed him?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Usually the higher draft pick, Etienne, might command more. But Bigsby's recent performance in maybe his contract situation could make him appealing too. Solak seems to imply, though, that if it comes down to it, Etienne might be the one traded, possibly because he could bring back more in return.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So just to recap the moving parts here, you've got intense competition heating up. You've got Bigsby with some surprisingly strong analytics backing him from last year. Then you throw in a new offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen, who likes balance, maybe a two-back system.
Right, but then Tootin's explosiveness forces his way into the picture, making a simple two-back committee difficult.
Which leads to the very real possibility that one of these top two guys, Etienne or Bigsby, could actually be traded away to recoup draft capital. What a situation.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And stepping back for a second, this whole scenario perfectly highlights how NFL teams have to juggle so many things. It's not just about who's the most talented player on the field. It's talent, sure, but it's also contract value, future draft picks, scheme fit. It's like this complex strategic chess match happening behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Beyond just who runs faster or breaks more tackles on Sundays.
So here's a thought for you, the listener, to chew on after this deep dive. Considering everything, the performance, the draft status, the new offense, the potential need for draft picks, which back do you think the Jaguars ultimately prioritize for their longer-term vision? Is it Etienne, Bigsby, or maybe even building around Tootin's potential? Why?
Yeah, that's a great question to ponder. So, as you follow the Jaguars through training camp and the preseason, you've now got a much deeper understanding of all the dynamics in that running back room. Keep an eye on who gets those first carries we talked about. Watch the stat sheets. Maybe look for things like EPA or yards after contact if you can find them. Listen for any clues about Cohen's offensive philosophy taking shape. You're definitely equipped now to see this battle unfold with a real deep dive perspective.